Like this if you're against sexism. Share this with at least 10 others if you're against racism. Hashtag this if you're against homophobia. We've all seen the post on Instagram. You might have even shared one or two on your feed, or at least on your story. They're the explainers that condense complex issues of inequality into digestible, social media-ready forms. These kinds of posts are hugely popular and increasingly used as a demonstration of activism. But is it really? Are you actually making a difference? Or can you go beyond the repost or the hashtag that society expects you to do? I'm not overlooking the fact that public allyship can help spur positive change. Voices can be heard and some small version of justice may even be served as a result. But it's not enough, and we must not let the kind of performative allyship that begins and ends with hashtags take centre stage in the quest for real equality. An ally is someone who's not a member of an underrepresented group, but an ally takes action to support that group. It's up to people who hold positions of privilege, especially those with privilege and power, to be active allies. Active allies use their credibility to create a more inclusive workplace where everyone can thrive and finds ways to make their privilege work for others. There are so many layers to privilege, and it can look differently in different environments, in different teams. But an ally is someone who recognises their own privilege and works to support those who don't have the same opportunities, thereby creating equity for everyone. Here's a few ways that you could be an ally.
Listen to the experiences of others. Provide a safe space so that they may feel comfortable to do so. Ask questions wherever you can. And most importantly, take the onus upon yourself to do your own research and educate yourself on matters that affect those around you.
Act with your wallet. Support businesses owned by underrepresented groups. If you're heartbroken by the exploitation of people of color in some of the poorest countries in the world, refuse to buy from the fashion and technology companies that exploit them. Start small if you have to, but make a change.
Believe other people's experiences. Don't assume something couldn't happen just because you haven't personally experienced it. If it doesn't seem to offend you, but it offends somebody else, take their word for it. You might not understand the reason for the offence, but you haven't walked in their shoes. Listen and ask questions when someone describes an experience you haven't had. Don't jump in with your own personal stories, and don't take things personally yourself.
Educate and challenge members of your own group. Speak up if you witness behavior or speech that's degrading or offensive. Explain your stance so it's clear why you're raising the issue in the first place. In a work setting, this discussion should always be one-on-one, and it needs to be constructive. You should assume best intentions, as ultimately this is about helping to educate. And if you can't call people out just yet, work on it to find the strength so that you can soon.
Short-term events might motivate you to want action, but long-term actions are what's required for meaningful change. So if you really want to be an ally, think beyond your immediate quotas or basic box-ticking objectives, and think longer term. Then action it consistently.
Act now for the benefit of future generations. Elevate peers and elevate juniors on a meritocratic basis. Give them access and exposure to the opportunities that others before them haven't had, and broaden their horizons to career opportunities that they might not be aware of. You could do this by being a mentor, partnering with local schools or charities to help more insular communities. You could even use a Giving Back Day to do it as well.
We can all share a post on our stories, but it disappears in 24 hours. It may be a start, but it's not enough. By being an active ally, you can use your privilege to make our organisation, our communities, and our world more diverse, fair, and inclusive. So, key takeaways. Listen, ask, and educate yourself. Act with your wallet. Believe others' experiences. Educate and challenge members of your own group. Take actions to fulfill longer-term objectives and provide access to opportunities.